Hello guys, this is Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. I was never really into bandanas before and now I'm not sure how I feel about these flappy bits or what I'm supposed to do with them, but I wanted to try something new, so here we are nonetheless. It might drive me nuts while editing, but never mind. Also, before we hop into it, I used the new Revolution Neon Shadow palette in the shade Not a Dream today. And I'm working on the first impression, a review on these two. But please let me know if you want to see them together or in a separate video. I'm just trying to figure out what would be the best way, but that's it. Quick mention in the beginning, and now let's hop into the video. I see a lot of people doing these videos where they talk about upcoming makeup and beauty releases in general, and they tell you if they want to buy it or not and what their thoughts are generally about those products. And while I do want to do one of those videos in the future, I haven't done them so far as I can remember. But I thought to start with it could be quite fun to go back in time and see all the beauty releases that have been out for a while, whether it's been a year, 2 years, 5 years, or just this January. And I still want to buy them because the beauty industry is quite fast-paced and you can't always buy all the releases that you want. But I collected 10 items that are still on my wish list and I'm sure sooner or later I will cave in. Now, knowing me, it's really eyeshadow heavy, but there are quite a few other items as well that are not eyeshadows, so, you know, I try to balance it out, and without further ado, let's hop into it. So the first item is an item that's been on this list since I can remember, and it's the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Friendication palette. No, it's Friendcation. I keep saying Friendication. No, it's Friendcation. And to be fair, looking at it, I'm looking at it on my phone, it's not the most unique color palette out there. I think it's mainly the two colors on the side that pull me in, that blue and that tealy greeny color. But for some reason I wanted to buy it as long as it came out, but obviously it's around 40 something pounds, so it's not the cheapest of palettes out there. But also I've never tried anything from Dose of Colors and I've only heard good things about this palette. And the eyeshadow lover in me just really wants it, even though the outer packaging, I know a lot of people liked it. For me, that doesn't really pull me in, but the colors itself on these shadows is just so beautiful and I really want it. And this was supposed to be limited edition, but it's been around for ages, and every time I'm like, should I order it, should I order it? And I'm so afraid that by the time I order it, it's gonna go away. But at the same time, it's still an investment into a palette that's been out for so long, and I have so many other eyeshadows, but I just love it so much. So I think I might cave. I don't know, but I love the look of it, so I really want it. I really do. And probably most of these shades I have apart from that blue and green, but probably I could mix a few colors in my collection and get the exact same effect. But I just want the palette, and again, I've never tried Dose of Colors before, so it could be a good option for me to try out the brand. I don't know, if you have any of these palettes, let me know what you think of them. I would love to know. Or not just the palettes, any other product I'm going to mention here. So the second product is still an eyeshadow palette, and this is a lot newer release. I think this came out at the beginning of this year, and it's the Sugar Pill Fun Size palette. Now again, Sugar Pill is a brand I've never tried, but I know that they are known for their fun colors and super well pigmented eyeshadows. And again, it's pastels, it's not something, well, I would not say it's only pastels. I feel like it's a good mix between pastels and also some brighter colors. And I posted my Beauty Bay Pastels palette review this Monday. If you want to check it out, I will link it in the corner. And why it's a nice palette, I feel like this could do a lot more for me just based on what I heard from the Sugar Pill formula. So I feel like this would be a good way for me to try it. Also, the packaging is super cute with like this little cat in the front, and I'm not a big gamer myself. The only game I was ever really into was Mario. So, you know. Oh, and that Aladdin game. Do you remember that? Anyone from the 90s? That game that we used to play on the computer that was like Aladdin jumping around. That was so fun. Oh, and Bomberman. But I like the packaging of this and the names like Twitch and Cheat Code and Player One and Rage Quit and Game Over, like all those. It's just such a cute palette. It's such a sweet concept and the colors just pull me in. and I think it was like £25 or something. Now I don't know if this was supposed to be limited edition, but a while ago it was still on Beauty Bay and now it disappeared. But I know that a lot of their stock disappeared, and I think it's just because of coronavirus, so I'm not sure how much of it is going to come back or what isn't. But if this comes back, I would be up to buying it. I feel like £25 for 9 shades is not too bad. It's quite reasonable, so we'll see. But this has definitely captured my heart as soon as it came out. I really, really like this. And the third product I have on my list is Ofra highlighters. And in particular, I like the shades Cloud 9 and Glazed Donut, I think is the other one. Yes, Glazed Donut. I have my notes next to me just so I don't forget any names. Those two are in particular the ones I want, and I know that from some shades they do the smaller highlighters as well. And knowing how many highlighters I have, if you've never seen my makeup collection, I can leave the party in there with the highlighters. I have a lot, so God knows I don't need more highlighters, but I've never tried anything from Ofra to start with, and they are well known for their highlighters, so I'm really I'm keen to try them. And especially those two shades seem to be a bit more unique to my collection, but also they seem to be shades that would work really well on my complexion, so I would happily try them out. I really would. Yeah, I think most of these products are coming from brands I haven't tried or not many things to start with, so you know, those are a few things that I would love to try. Moving on, we have a cult classic product, and it's the RCMA No Color Powder, and I mean, it's a setting powder. It's fairly affordable as well, so I'm pretty sure sooner or later this will end up with me. But at the moment I have so many setting powders that I don't really need another one, and somehow when I buy a powder I always seem to forget about this. Now I feel like this will be really similar to the Ben Nye Neutral set, which I had before, and I love that powder. Again, that's super affordable as well, but I feel like a lot more people talk about the RCMA one as opposed to the Ben Nye for some reason. I don't know why, I'm not sure. Well, I think you can get RCMA now on Beauty Bay, so it's a bit more accessible than Ben Nye, which I feel like is a bit harder to find. But I really, really rate that powder highly. I love it. I feel like this could be a really similar powder. Now the packaging on these is always a bit of a pain, but it's nothing that you can't really use. So I feel like that will be a powder that will end up sooner or later with me. The next one is not necessarily a makeup item, but it's a skincare item, and it's a Foreo, and especially I want to try the Foreo Luna Play, I think, which is not the smallest one, but it's not the £110 one either. I think these are around like 30 something pounds, and I especially like the Sunflower shade. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Yeah, it's called Sunflower Yellow. The colour of it makes me happy. I quite like yellowy shades. I like pinks and reds and oranges and purples and any kind of colour really. But the Sunflower Yellow is a shade that I always see when I look at those Foreos, and it just pulls me in. And I feel like I could step up my skincare game, because while I quite happily spend on makeup, you know, a lot of money and also a lot of time, with my skincare I like to be a bit more functional, but lately I feel like I'm a bit more open to all these new skincare bits, and I try to be better at balancing out my makeup lover in me with something that's a bit more useful for my skin, because when you slap on so much makeup you have to make sure you look after your skin. So I really want to try this, and again, the Foreo is something that you only hear good reviews about, and the Luna Play is one that you can change the batteries in. It's not like the small one where you cannot recharge it, you cannot change the batteries, so it's just, I feel like, I don't know for how long that would be enough, but I feel like it's such a waste of money, and it might be cheaper, but still. I mean, if I don't like it, there's not much you can do. Maybe I can, you know, clean it and pass it on to someone in the family. But I want to give it a try, and I want that sunflower shade, so I think I will buy it in the next few months, depending on what happens with work and how we get paid and all that. You know, everything's a bit uncertain at the moment, and it didn't really stop me on spending on makeup, but I need to be a bit better about that. Now we move on to another eyeshadow palette, and this one is the Juvia's Place Tribe eyeshadow palette, and this has been out since last year, is it, I think? And I'm just looking at it right now, and the colors just pull me in. It has yellows, it has oranges, it has greens and shimmers and, you know, mattes, and it just takes my breath away. Now I'm not gonna lie, the color that pulls me in mostly is obviously that bright yellowy greeny colour. Oh, it looks so nice. But I just feel like this would be quite a unique eyeshadow to add to my collection, because while I have oranges, they're not exactly this shade. The greens, I feel like the light green I could replicate it, the deeper one, no. And again, I think it's that pop of yellow that pulls me in. But I don't know, I really like it. Now I only have one item from Juvia's Place, and it's the Magic Mini Palette, which I love. It's such a good formula, it blends so easily but without the pigment blending away. So I really like it, and this is a palette that I really want to add to my collection. I feel like Juvia's Place is one of those brands as well that gives really good value for your money, because they're not super expensive, they're quite affordable, but the quality that you get is really good, so you don't have to compromise whether you want quality or affordable prices. You get both, so I'm sure I will sooner or later have this palette in my collection as well, even though God knows I don't need more eyeshadows. But I feel like this would be a good option where it would give me a good variety of colours that I don't have over and over and over and over again in my collection. The next one, again, is something that's been out for quite a while now. That's the point of this video. And this is from the beauty line of Victoria Beckham. And this is just a kohl liner in the shade Bordeaux. And I love a good, like, mulberry or like a good wine kind of color, especially when it comes to the autumn and winter time. I love them on my lips. I love them on my eyes, and I feel like this eyeshadow would be so nice. I don't really have anything like it. I have a lot of things on the purple side, but not many things on this side. And I was wondering whether I would want the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk one, especially the deep one, or this, but I feel like I prefer this one because I've seen that in real life and that did not impress me as much as I wanted to. So I would be really excited to try this. Now again, Victoria Beckham is quite luxe, especially when it comes to prices. I think this one is around 20 something pound. I love how it looks though. It looks really nice, and it has a little smudger on one end as well, so you could really blend it out. And I haven't really heard anyone talking about her beauty line in a while. I don't think she really is anything new since she had the initial launch, but I was not that impressed with the eyeshadow palettes, I'm not gonna lie. They are really nice, but they're quite basic, if I can say that. The packaging though, with the tortoise shell and everything, beautiful. But the shadow colors itself never really sunk me in, whereas when it comes to the eyeliners, I looked at especially that Bordeaux shade and I was like, yes, I want that. And just building myself up to spending over 20 quid for an eyeliner, which I've done before. I know, I've done before, but you know, every time it hurts a little. The next in the line is something that I think has been out for the longest, and it's the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick. And I think I've only ever tried one foundation stick in my life. Well, no, two. One was from Maybelline, but that had like a balmy like bit in the middle, which made it like slide on really nicely, and I actually really enjoyed it, but obviously that's not cruelty free, and I'm pretty sure they don't do it anymore. And then the other one is from Kryolan, and it's the Cinema Stick, I think they are called, which I mainly use for like face painting and stuff. I still have it, I just haven't done any makeup like that in a while. But that's like really thick, perfect for drag makeup kind of thing. So again, that's not an everyday foundation stick. And I wanted to try this for a really long time, but I'm not someone who wears full coverage foundation at all, really. Like, I don't enjoy full coverage foundation, but lately I like to play around a bit more with formulas and changing them with primers and just, you know, being a bit more open-minded when it comes to makeup. And I mean, I like every single colour and stuff, and I will have a lot of fun with my eyeshadow. But I realised that when it comes to everything else in my collection, when it comes to more complexion products, I was always quite stuck in the same sort of, oh, light coverage and dewy and all that, and I want to change that. So I really want to try this. It obviously has a lot of good reviews, and I feel like that could be something that could be quite easily manipulated with, depending on what primer you use under it. So I just really want to try it, and I'm sure I will later on this year. I feel like once we go back to the autumn winter time, that will be a good time to try it, because usually those times around you want a bit more coverage anyway, and hopefully by that time we will be able to color match by that point. I don't think that it will be going back to normal for a while, but we'll see. If not, I can hopefully still color match myself more or less. But yeah, I really would like to try it, and I feel like I will towards the end of this year, but not at the moment. The next is a person and a brand that I've been following for a long time, and it's Linda Holberg. And I have one of her eyeliners that I got from my friend, and I love it. It's so good. It works so well in the waterline, and I love it, and I want more colors. But on this list specifically, I have 2 eyeshadow palettes because I couldn't decide which one to put in here. So one of them is the Spectral palette, and the other one is the Metallic Mysteries 2. So it's a bit more of like a, it always reminds me of like a Christmas eyeshadow palette because it has your browns and golds, but then it also has a red and a green. So to me that just screams Christmas, and I'm pretty sure this came out around the winter time as well. And then the Spectral palette has all these beautiful colorful shades that I love, and they seem huge. And my friend, she actually won one of her quads, and that seems huge as well. So I feel like these palettes will last you for ages. But also, if you watch her videos, she's using these on her eyes, on her cheeks, on her lips. Like, most of her products are quite, I feel like, artistry tools, in the sense that I'm explaining it really badly. But basically, she's quite a creative makeup artist. So I think when she created her line, she had it more in mind to make sure that you can use these palettes in as many ways as possible. And I just love the color scheme of these, so I would happily try them. And based on that one eyeshadow pencil that I have, her products are amazing. She has so many things in her line now. I definitely have more things on my list from her, like basically her whole line. But the 2 I want to talk about are the 2 eyeshadow palettes, but I could have literally picked her whole line. But again, these are not new releases, these are just some things that I really like. But the last thing as well, again, is an eyeshadow palette, and I think this might be the newest launch out of all of them, or maybe is it the Sugar Pill palette? I'm not too sure, but this is the Natasha Denona Love palette, and just as I mentioned before, I love my pinks. And this is a beautiful purpley pinky palette. I just love the shade selection, and again, I only have a small eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona that I bought at the beginning of this year, and a lot of people say the formula is not the same as her other palettes, but I love that formula. So if, you know, if this is even just half as good as that one, it will be amazing. And I love the colors of it. But again, I have so many pinks and burgundies, but those are all the shades that always pull me in. It's always the burgundies, I'm not sure why. Just like with the Victoria Beckham liner, those are always the ones that somehow pull me in. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. They just do, and I just love them. So that's another thing that I would be happy. But also, this has a lot more purpley shades, and I don't really have many purples in my collection, although I just got a second-hand Anastasia Norvina palette, so that should be arriving soon. So that will rectify it a little bit because that has purples in it. And I feel like that should satisfy my craving for a while. But also, I love the outer packaging of this palette. It's just so gorgeous with that pinky shade. But that's why I love the new Norvina palette as well. The volume 4 looks amazing on the outside, but again, that's a new release, so we're not going to talk about that now. So this is it, guys. These were all the products that are not new releases, but I still wanted to talk about them. And God knows I don't need more makeup, but I still want them. I can't help it. So again, if you could let me know, please, if you think I should do a review on these in the same video or in 2 separate videos. That would be lovely. But for now, I'm gonna go. If you want to see more of my videos, I post every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and I have the occasional Saturday videos as well. But for now, I'm gonna go. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me. And quick disclaimer, which I always add lately, but I think it helps. My boyfriend said if I reach 250 subscribers, I can do his makeup on camera. So we are really close. So close. Also, what do you think we should do? Should I do like the boyfriend tag while we do that as well? Or should I just give him some pictures of beauty products and test his knowledge? I don't know. Let me know which one would you like to see better. But for now, I'm gonna go. I hope to see you soon. Have a lovely day. Bye bye. Not sure what's happening to my hands, but bye bye.